Hi, good day. Let's talk quickly. Well, not quickly. We can talk about corn. Kind of just hanging around here, waiting to do what it wants to do next. We have to kind of take a look at the technicals when we are kind of done with our fundamental news. We just got that last report on Friday, mildly bullish, but we're still not really reacting. And I think things are being weighed down a little bit by the fact that we've got reports out there that the funds are short about 100,000 contracts. That's not massive, but that shows you what their inkling is, number one. And number two is, maybe that's just the fuel that the fire needs for a little bit of a squeeze higher. So we kind of have to keep that in mind, right? Because that's going to be something that could light this thing on fire and get these bulls what they want before the end of the year. So I think that's pretty important to kind of, keep that in mind. I also, if you're going to be talking technicals, I want to make sure that we keep these things in mind. 371 to the downside in D's and 377, right? We're in between there right now, but those are going to be important levels going forward that the technicians are going to be looking at, because we're still not getting this abundancy of, say, fundamental news. We just got the last report. So the technicians are going to kind of look at that, and those are like 50% and 62% back from that squeeze up to 402. So that's what they're looking at, these retracements, right? So 50% back is going to be that 377-ish level, and then 371 would be 62% back. I know that kind of gets lost in the weeds a little bit, but without anything really better to look at, we do have some weather kind of coming in, but that's what we're going to also kind of keep an eye on. And now, not on a side note per se, but just because I do have the cow shirt on, it's interesting to see yesterday's news about Dean Foods declaring bankruptcy. While disappointing, it's interesting because we've got such record high milk prices right now. And those two things normally wouldn't go together, but I'd like to kind of do some clarification here. This is just a culmination of a really bad last 2 years. Milk has been trading at less than the cost of production. This is just the culmination of that. And now that we're starting to get rid of some of these players, milk's been able to rally. So that's why you see now milk on all-time record highs. At the same time, milk companies like Dean's declaring bankruptcy. Something interesting to see, but there is a backstory there that makes perfect sense. And just remember, over the last 2 years, it's been rough for a lot of farmers, especially dairy as well. And the cost of milk's been cheaper than the cost of production, which really does hurt everybody across the board. So keep all those things in mind. You got to be a little bit more efficient than you probably ever could be now, because business has never been harder. It's just not you, it's also us too. And that means that you have to make sure you're setting and forgetting those hedges and just taking advantage of those prices as a producer when you get them and they're given to you from the market. Good luck.